Have you ever said yes when everything inside you screamed no? Smiled to keep the peace while crumbling inside. This silent suffering leaves no visible marks, just a persistent, nameless pain. It begins when you betray yourself daily, molding your voice, words, and emotions to avoid disappointing others. You adapt and it works people like you. You become reliable, pleasant, predictable, but behind this carefully constructed mask, a void grows. Something in you is forgotten, suffocated. Carl Jung called this mask the persona. It's necessary for social survival. But the danger comes when you forget it's just a mask, when you lose touch with the real person beneath, the one with messy desires, unpalatable anger, and unpolished thoughts. This isn't about rebellion or abandoning social norms. It's about recognizing how the need for approval distances you from yourself. The cost of self-abandonment is steep. Anxiety, identity crises, unexplained resentment, and a deep, silent sadness. The persona isn't the problem, it's becoming the persona. When you prioritize being liked over being real, you silence parts of yourself. Over time, the cracks spread. You forget what you truly want. Your decisions become automatic, dictated by others' expectations. Externally, everything seems fine, you're praised, trusted, even envied. But inside, something is dying, the mask becomes skin, and removing it feels impossible. Beneath the surface, a war rages. The ego clings to the persona, desperate for stability and acceptance. The unconscious, however, refuses to be ignored. It sends signals: anxiety, irritability, exhaustion, inexplicable sadness. These are whispers from your soul, growing louder the longer you ignore them. Jung warned that, when the ego strays too far from truth, the unconscious rebels. Repressed emotions don't vanish. They morph into self-sabotage, toxic relationships, or a gnawing sense of disconnection. The anger you suppress turns inward, corroding your vitality. You might look functional, but you're hollow. Some are more vulnerable to this cycle, particularly those with an extroverted feeling orientation. Their sense of self depends on external harmony. They absorb others' emotions, adjust to expectations, and equate being loved with being useful. Their question isn't "what do I want?" but "what do they need from me?" This inversion is unsustainable. No one can please everyone, and each rejection feels like a personal failure. The tragedy: they often don't realize they're betraying themselves until the body or psyche forces a reckoning. The unconscious speaks in symbols, not logic. Dreams of being chased, trapped, or voiceless aren't random. They're cries for attention. Chronic pain, insomnia, or compulsive behaviors are last-ditch efforts to pull you out of autopilot. The psyche demands wholeness. If you refuse to listen, the protests escalate: emotional breakdowns, sudden rage, or a life that feels like it's crumbling. Jung called this compensation, the unconscious restoring balance by dragging repressed truths into the light. The way back is individuation, reclaiming all parts of yourself, even the uncomfortable ones. It's not about perfection but integration. Facing the shadow, the pride, anger, neediness you've disowned, is brutal but liberating. It requires disappointing others, shedding roles, and tolerating the loneliness of authenticity. You might lose relationships or status, but what you gain is irreplaceable: your voice, your will, your soul. This isn't a one-time epiphany but a daily choice. It starts in small moments: saying no, honoring your anger, sitting with silence instead of numbing it. The persona can't give you peace. Only alignment can. Peace comes when your outer life mirrors your inner truth. Freedom isn't approval from others, it's approving of yourself. When you stand by your own side, unapologetically, the mask loses its power. The journey is messy, but it's the only one that leads you home.